for an offshore company, I mean, that completely depends on what you're going to do with it. For example, I've got some clients who are not very wealthy guys, but they have digital businesses. They're digital nomads. They have online businesses, or let's say virtual businesses. Some of them are consultants. They have clients all over the world. Some of them have e-commerce businesses, with clients all over the world. Some of them sell a digital download product. In those cases, I think it makes a lot of sense to have an offshore company because you can take advantage of significant tax savings. And people say, well, it's just so expensive. I mean, to be honest, it costs about the same to set up an offshore company as it does a Delaware LLC. So it's not like there's some big cost hurdle you got to jump through. I mean, if you're in the U.S. doing e-commerce, you probably have whatever, a Nevada or Delaware or something LLC for your business anyway. So, I mean, if your business fits the criteria to shift some or all of its profits offshore, I'd say it makes sense now. Mm-hmm. I mean, you don't need to be making $1 million in profit a year for it to make sense. I mean,
okay. You
could have a small consulting business making $100,000 a year, living as an expat or a virtual nomad traveling around the world. Well, it could make significant benefit for you because you can take advantage of the foreign earned income exclusion, paying yourself from a foreign company that does not have an obligation to collect the social tax, the 15.3% that Americans have to pay, or what they call the self-employment tax. Well, foreign companies don't have to pay that because they're not U.S. companies. But if you're paying yourself as a, quote, sole proprietor, the $100,000, you still have to pay the social tax.
Right. So now I want to talk about that for a second because that's the thing right there, I think. Now, imagine in my situation, it makes perfect sense, but imagine one of these digital nomads who's, maybe he's bringing in $25,000 a year. Well, he can do the foreign income exclusion. He's way below the threshold on that. But the other, so it might not be obvious that he needs any sort of foreign company. He's still saving that money on tax. He's not paying any income tax up to $101,000, something like that. But he is able to get out of those payroll taxes, Social Security and Medicare, right?
Correct. Yeah, that 15.3. So if he's making 25 grand, that saves him what, $3,250?
Right. Yeah, that's
$3,250
in 1 year.
We don't even charge. We charge less than that to set up an offshore company and an offshore bank account. So basically, you save more in taxes in your first year than it costs you to set up the company, and then ongoing, you're in the black. Let's say every year.
Okay.
Even if you only make $25,000.